Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's another Friday with Dannphan. I hope you've been having a fantastic Friday. As always, guys, we have a couple different things to talk about. The main thing is obviously the announcement of the comic contest that I'm going to be doing. This was the big collaborative contest that I mentioned. I wanted to do some big collaborative project, and here it is. It's here. We're finally getting the news out for it. And right now, the pre-launch page is up. So if you want to get notified on launch, you click the button for that. Obviously, I'll have to do a video for when we finally do launch. But for now, I've mostly just been doing shorts and posts and I guess this live stream here so we can hash out all the good details. Huh? So let me pull up on screen. I'll kind of briefly explain, and I have a feeling I'll probably explain it again later, but that's fine. Okay, so is this showing? Yeah. This is the pre-launch page we've got going at the moment. You can click notify me on launch, and that way you will immediately hear when we do launch. I'm planning on launching the 31st. So at the end of the month, which is plenty of time for me to actually get all the tiers and everything together. I think I know what I want to do for the perks, though. I think I'll mostly keep it simplified, but I thought maybe for like a high baller perk, maybe I should, I don't know, like do something like a big comic bundle. And, you know, because I do have like spare comics around from other previous projects that I could probably just throw in for a big bundle. But at the same time, Kickstarter has that option for add-on perks. You know, when you're checking out, I can just list up all the comics that I have and you can just add it on at the end. So maybe that's better. I don't know. What could I do for a big baller perk for a Kickstarter that's an anthology like this, you know? But yeah. It's a thinker. I'll have to think on that one. If you guys have any ideas, you can also share with me what you'd like to see as far as perks for this. But the main thing, I want to do a digital version of the anthology, and then additionally, the big thing will be the printed anthology, and that'll be the main perk that you really want to get. All of the stories listed here being printed. It's going to be good. You're gonna love it. So it's 7 different creators who are participating in this contest. Not me. I cannot give a prize to myself, but a lot of these indie creators they're good stuff. Good stuff. Some of them you've probably never heard of before. A lot of them actually fans of the channel, which is partially how I found them to begin with. It's one of those funny things where when you start a channel, even a small one like this, but when you start a channel about indie comics and you're reviewing indie comics, you do tend to attract a lot of indie comics people. And it's been a blast discovering new creators out there, especially really, really talented ones. And yeah, that's another thing, because my videos are also very conservative leaning, and there's that stereotype where people think conservatives can only make bad art, or they can only make political art, or whatever they say. I agree, like anti-woke content is usually like kind of pessimistic and not very good. But I've definitely seen a lot of extremely talented conservative artists out there. So completely debunked in my mind. I know way too many great conservative artists to say that conservatives can't make art. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, never expect a Kickstarter to double as a contest, but it's kind of interesting in a way to see other creators' works. Yeah, Yeah, anthology doubling as a contest that the readers are voting on, and I thought this was a really fun idea, or at least for something that I could achieve. Obviously, if I wanted to, I could have just had it be like an open submission contest. I could have just had like anyone vote on it. But those are much more harder to make sure it doesn't go off the rails, I guess, because you have Manga Plus, right? And we've talked a little bit about Manga Plus creators. I don't know if they would have any like examples of this, but I wouldn't want to call anyone out on this particular problem live on a stream in the first place. Let me see, where are the rankings? Monthly awards, there they are. So this is Manga Plus creators. What they do is every month they have it completely open for submissions, and then based on the interaction with the manga or the comic itself, you will climb up in rankings. And I believe if you get within the top 10, you'll have your work looked at from an official manga editor with Shueisha. But even that rule is kind of finicky because we've seen people that were just in like the top 20 still like win awards. You know, I feel like they do bend the rules a little bit as far as that goes, and maybe there is a lack of transparency there. Maybe there's some critiques to throw at them in that regard. But the basic idea is that you want to get high in the rankings so that you can have an editor look over your work and hopefully give you one of the 3 awards, and maybe consider you for publishing with Shonen Jump. And that's like the big thing. Well, I shouldn't say Shonen Jump. It's Jump Plus. It's their older platform that they're looking to get work onto, from what I understand. But yeah, I like the idea of the rankings. I like the idea that people can interact with this comic, and the more people that are interested in it, the higher up on the listing it goes. Here are the issues with that, obviously. Just because you're interacting with something doesn't mean that you like it. Just because something gets a lot of views doesn't mean it's necessarily popular, because people do hate read stuff, right? And the biggest issue is the most obvious one, is botting. Botting is a big issue, especially on platforms like these, and I think they are trying to take steps to prevent botting, but very often you'll find these very obvious AI comics that are in the top 10 or top 20, and they have way too many views than makes logical sense. And stuff like that just makes you lose faith in the contest itself. So that's an issue, and I'm trying to avoid that, keep it stupid simple as much as possible. So here's what we're doing differently for this one. It's an anthology that you are buying on the Kickstarter. Any additional profits that we make, it's going to the creators who participated on the Kickstarter, or participated in the anthology. The people creating the comics that are featured, they will get a split of the profits, because that's fair, right? You're getting published in a publication, you should get some profits thrown at you. You can vote on which comic you liked best. Like, specifically, you're voting on what you want to win, what you thought was the best one out of all of them. And you can only vote if you actually are reading the anthology, because the QR code is at the end of each story to vote on it. So it's a private link to a voting poll that random people online wouldn't be able to access. Maybe if they were really determined But even so, there is also some protection on the polling itself, so that you have to put in, your email address to actually vote, right? So doing my best to keep it relatively a normal contest in that regard, so that there's no tomfoolery. I don't think there would be, honestly, because I think most people who are contributing to these campaigns actually are passionate about indie comics, especially my audience. You guys are pretty cool. Random compliment to throw at you guys, but you guys are pretty cool. You actually seem to care about this type of stuff, which is what matters, right? And everyone else who is participating in the contest, I think they seem pretty cool too. I don't think they would stoop to any types of trickery, but it's good to be at least a little bit cautious to make sure it's as fair as possible. So that's fun. And we have a bunch of different contestants. Oh, the actual winner who gets the most votes, going to get $500. So not nothing to scoff at, certainly. We have Joyski, Rushbrook Draws, he's in chat. Vein Lover Art, Zarabamba, and Jikan Art. Borisuko, who is actually more of a last-minute addition than you think, because obviously I did feature him in the Manga by YouTubers video, but some people who were supposed to participate in the contest canceled, or it seemed like they were going to cancel. So I contacted Borisuko just because I enjoyed his manga, and I thought, well, you can come into the contest too if this sounds interesting to you. And he was interested, so popped him on the contest. No issue there. And then the Comic Ken, he's bringing on Saintly for the contest as well, which is kind of exciting. Yeah, he was one of the ones that I was worried was not gonna be able to participate, because he's also publishing it, right? But everything worked out. So now we have 7 different creators, and I think that's a good number for a decent anthology project here. I'm excited. I think it'll turn out pretty good. Let me see. I'll look at the chat. Yeah, Rushbrook Draws. That's me. It is. I got into Common America because of it being an anime version of Power Girl. And I've always been a fan of Power Girl even before the newest Supergirl film came out. Yeah, I was familiar with Power Girl mostly because of like the memes about her online, but I've never actually read a Power Girl comic. I think her costume is kind of interesting looking though. For sure. Yeah, having bots would make things complicated. Absolutely. What's the price point on the anthology, if you don't mind me asking? So loose prices for now, but based on what I think we're probably going to end up printing, the print version will probably be like at $25, and then the digital version will probably be like $10. But it could, if we get like a lot of signups, and I feel like we're going to get a lot of more because this is me basically guessing with how much I'll actually need to print. But if we do get a lot of people signing up for it, click notify me on launch if you're interested. We can get that price down, of course, because the more books that you print, the less per copy it is to print. But right now it looks like we're looking at a normie 25 for the anthology. It's going to be a bigger print than a manga. I don't know if I have anything here. I think it'll probably be about maybe this size. Yeah, I know it's hard because I don't have anything to compare it to. Even if I pull out some, I think it'll be roughly this size though. It's a good size, trust me. Oh, I should probably make myself bigger too. So like normal manga size. This is also a good size. I had Reaper printed at this size. It's good. It's decent. Also, great manga right here, right? Then it's going to be a little bit bigger, like that. You can... This is my rough comparison, but it's going to be a little bit bigger. Make it feel like a more special anthology thing. Oh, God. Now I have to put it all back and all the books are shifting around. Why did I do this to myself? Okay. Put this back now. Put it over here. I gotta reorganize some of this manga. Some of it is a little bit all bumbled up. All right. Yeah, lots of great talent. Absolutely. Don't mind that price for the physical? Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm glad. The last printer that I worked with Pulsio, I could have done things better on my end when it came to preparing the files for print, but they were very good to me. They were. And I am overall pretty happy with the quality of Reaper Book 2. I think it is a big step up from Reaper Book 1. And so I'd like to return to them for the printing of this anthology. It's also part of the reason why I was telling everyone that the interiors would have to be black and white. They can print color, but I feel like it's gonna look much better in the pure... well, everyone's submissions were available in black and white. So... let me see. Yeah, everyone's submissions were already in black and white, except for Saintly. Saintly was the one where he actually was originally doing it in color, but he sent me a black and white version. But the black and white version for Saintly looks pretty good. So I think it's all going to be pretty solid stuff. And I was working on the cover and reverse cover for the contest anthology. It's still kind of a work in progress. I'm not 100% done with it yet. But you know, I'm feeling good about it so far. I'll show you in a second. Let's see, have you considered movie reaction or review videos? I find them fascinating. Your comic reviews are great. Oh, thank you. Movie reactions are kind of difficult because of the copyright. I don't have as much issue with comics and manga, but I have had in the past some issue with reviewing or doing the live reactions of comics and manga, like mostly manga, I think, in the past. I've occasionally been hit with like a copyright strike because I showed too many pages or something. But yeah, movies are especially hard. They're usually very, very protected. And yeah, I do have a watch-along section in my Discord. So if you sign up for the Discord perk, what do they call it? There's like a special tier on Subscribestar where you can sign up to get access to the private parts of the Discord. And I do watch-alongs on there that I couldn't normally do on YouTube for copyright reasons or any other additional reasons that I wouldn't want it to be public. But yeah, we were actually planning a watch-along this weekend of a like indie superhero show that looked pretty goofy. So we're hoping to have a fun time watching that. I think we will. But yeah, that's fine for an anthology of indie tales. I think so. And I want it to be enough that there will be some profit overall. so that I can actually have something to split up amongst the creators, even if we don't, do super well. Now, what show? I'll keep that a secret. And then this is what I was working on as far as the cover. This still is a work in progress. So the front cover will be the comic side, of course. And there's like a reminder, like, read this way. We have like the artists featured on top there. It's Michael's art in the forefront because he had quite a nice art piece and I wanted to make it very big. And then the reverse cover, this is going to be the manga side, so you're going to read it the manga way, naturally. There's only 2 that were featured that were in the manga backwards reading format, so this one's a little bit less cluttered, but I feel like it works. There's still works in progress, of course. Let me give you some room, Adam.
No need.
Okay.
Plenty of room. Let's go and stream.
Have you ever done live drawings or editing of your comic? Yes, I have. Ooh, a long time ago, though. So all the drawings are probably really bad, but that's okay.
You do some drawing streams.
Yeah, I'd like to start doing them again more often, actually. Something that I think would be really fun is like practice drawing streams, like kind of a draw with me type of thing where I'd go through like drawing drills, like, doing the 60-second poses or, practicing drawing whatever. And I also think it's good for like other artists or aspiring artists to see like what you kind of have to do to practice at art and actually get better and learn and, looking at references and whatnot. I think it would be both educational and fun, perhaps. This is the cover and reverse cover I've been working on for the anthology.
That arrow. Is that from Bleach? Is it kind of styled after it?
And no, it's styled after the JoJo To Be Continued arrow.
Oh, okay.
But I think that's what you're recognizing it from.
Yeah.
Does Bleach also have like an arrow like that?
I think so.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm reminding people which way to read depending on the side.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the old Burning Star guy.
Oh no, I had like a bunch of different like Burning Star logo things made, so I feel like this guy kind of fits it better with the sword because it's like, Battle of the Stars, right?
Yeah. I remember the early logo, it was like in a jar.
Yeah, the orange one.
Yeah, I voted for the jar. I remember there was a bunch and I was like, yeah, the jar.
Yeah, the jar. Classic. The issue with the old one is that it was maybe too like noisy.
Yeah, it wasn't a good logo, but
yeah, it was a neat idea though. A star in a jar. Do you plan to make it available on the Burning Comics website after the campaign's finished? I mean, sure. If we have copies left over, I think that would be totally cool, especially if somebody missed the campaign but they still want to participate in the contest. Granted, the contest is only going to be like open for voting for our particular period of time. Yeah. But I think even if you miss the voting period, it's still nice to have an anthology of different like one-shot comics from like a bunch of different creators. And I think from the creator's point of view, it's also just kind of cool to be like printed in a project like that, especially for people who maybe have never been printed in anything before. It might be exciting.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got comics from my first campaign printed, and it was like, whoa, once it was in physical, it was a whole other experience. It felt more real and legitimate.
Yeah. Personally, it was like terrifying because every page I'm like, sure, something's going to be like fucked up. Like I forgot something or I didn't didn't send them the right file. It's just like all blank or something. I was like,
Yeah, very stressful. And now at this point in time, I've done so many campaigns and so many printings that I feel like there's a lot more confidence behind it. And now I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing with the files. But yeah, if you make a mistake, it's always like, that's terrible. JoJo's inspiration's obvious, but still nice. Yeah, well, I think it's a nice little hat tip. Let's see. Video idea, going over comics made by the infamous Andrew Dobson. Do I know that? I don't know. I don't know that one. There's a couple different video ideas that I've been cooking up. It's really just kind of a matter of picking which ones to do next all the time. But there's a couple that we're going to do together that are coming up sometime soon. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it's like the God Fisher or whatever, that like the like badly translated.
The brain rot, yeah.
Yeah, that was. We did eventually figure out what abalone is.
Yes.
But
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Sure.
You found like a couple different manhwa that we were reading.
There was two that were basically the same, but it was like the money anxiety thing.
Yeah. I didn't even think that they were that bad per se.
No.
It was just like a different type of entertaining.
Yeah. Although, I mean,
the No More Money Please, I thought was really amusing.
The one where they had like the drawings were a little bit better, or at least the drawings of like the women were better. that one had kind of it was, I think it was trying to be a bit more serious, and it was not quite there. It's kind of hard to see to feel the drama in like, it's like, I'll take every single one of these special coffees and they're like, but each drink is $30 after you've like seen like Dragon Ball Z or something, and it's like, I'll destroy the whole planet. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's hard to, like, because they're like, they're like, oh, but there's like 40 cups. And I'm like, I mean, that's more money than I would like to spend on random like marshmallow lattes, but like,
it's like LA prices.
It's it's just like, it's not as bad as, just, you put down your like, everyone's gonna die, like Barbarians at the Gates comic, and you're like, okay, I'll put that aside, let me open my
open the mobile app.
The money the guy has money powers comic. Maybe more relatable, but
no, but it is entertaining though. You've read some manhwa that you have genuinely enjoyed though, right?
Yeah. Usually at some stage they do something where I was like, well, I was enjoying it, but I can't recommend it anymore.
I think that's true for just a lot of series though. They just go on forever. Eventually, like one bad mistake and the whole thing is ruined. Like, the same thing is true of a lot of manga series that I've started and then I got completely burned on because they just make one bad decision and it changes the entire context of what you read previously. Ugh, man.
Yeah, like I was reading one where like part of the plot is like keeping a secret, and then like in the process of like keeping the secret, they're like, he doesn't save someone who he could have saved, who didn't really deserve to die, but he's like, I can't risk it, I'll, if I save him, then I could die, and it's like, oh, he's kind of selfish, oh, it's kind of dark, and then he kills someone to keep the secret, and you're like, no, that wasn't great. And it wasn't like he kills like
I know what you're talking
about.
An
unlikable character. It was like she was like the quirky, not like she was like a quirky tomboy, like kind of rogue character, and you're like, oh, okay, so she's gonna be like another like character in the roster, and she'll like give them information at some point in the future. I was assuming something like that. And then he like breaks her arms and legs and like twisted at crazy angles. And I'm like, this this is
not
bad.
great.
And then she's like begging not to die and
Oh
stuff.
my god.
And she's like crying and stuff. And then he like smashes her to death. And I was like, yeah, this was good, but that really,
That was a little too much.
no, that was a mistake. That was a straight up error. There's like sometimes
Error in judgment.
yeah, like sometimes people say this thing was like, oh, it's all art is subjective. That was a mistake. That was a bad idea. And he knows it was a bad idea because later he keeps on going back to it to try and be like, oh, you know what I was thinking when I was killing her? I was thinking like, oh, you know, maybe this is like how we like escape the video game, you know, right?
Oh, please.
And it's just like, no, I don't think so, man. I think you're this, you know, it's like, yeah, I couldn't even tell you what I was reading because I don't want anyone else to be traumatized. It was a hard mistake. I'm sure there's more dramatic examples of some writer going off the rails, but that's like,
oh yeah, for sure.
So
Andrew Dobson, professional artist, traces pictures of Big Ben. It sounds like everyone else knows who he is. Maybe if I saw like the image of the comic, I'd probably recognize it, but I don't know. Let's see. Currently reading a manual that I really enjoy, Insector. Basically, Kamen Rider, where he dismembers and eats the monsters. Okay, so it's kind of like Dungeon Meshi.
The eating thing is very that is a whole subgenre. It's like
okay.
How you'll know that it involves them eating something to gain its powers. It'll say like devouring in the title. There's like a million of them. Necromancy obviously is like popular. That was popular before Solo Leveling, but then that like because you can tell it was popular before because he never calls it necromancy. He's like, oh, it's like the shadows. Yeah, it's like not.
It's like shadow magic, man.
I'm like the shadow guy. I'm not with necromancy. That's not me.
Oh my god.
But also, how dare you smash a tomboy? That's not how you smash a tomboy. They're doing it wrong. Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
I think the concept of tomboy is really interesting because it's sort of like the modern day like chaste thing because like a tomboy like they always dress like a boy and they don't have an interest in guys and then they fall in love and they like they get more like feminine or something. That arc is kind of interesting because it's like. Yeah, it's like a modern day appreciation of like a girl being chaste. So it's nice to see people are still kind of they still like that sort of character.
Yeah, sure.
Cute.
But yeah, I mean, I can't really. I have like difficulty getting into manhwa, mostly because if they can't like give me a good concept right away. I'm usually like instantly not worth it.
Well, your concepts you can choose from, right, are devouring, necromancy, portals open up in Korea. They open up in Korea, and then you get ranks, whereas S is the best, and then you go into the portals, and you get crystals that are worth money, but then the crystals will corrupt the world and cause a plot thing to happen later. Okay. And then what's the other one? Oh, trapped in a video game, but that's not as common as the portals open up because then you need to be able to buy your $30 marshmallow s'mores lattes
sure.
with your crystal money.
You mine in the portals, and then that's where you're getting all the money. Yeah. They create the new economy that way. That's how they save their country. From going bankrupt.
Genuinely, there has to be a certain amount of like fashion in it. Like there's always like a stage where the hero, the hero's made it because he's like become taller and skinnier and wears like fancy clothes. Mm-hmm. And like I thought it was so funny in like Solo Leveling, they have a zoom in on his pants being too short and showing his ankles in like loafers in the middle of like a fight. I was just thinking like. There's someone out there, some Korean guy out there who's like, well, what a badass. Those are so expensive. Those are so expensive. I can't believe he killed enough monsters to afford those.
Yeah, probably right about that. They're looking at real fashion and being like, oh man, I wish I could afford this, but I'll just live vicariously through my character now, who's super rich and cool. Did you like Solo Leveling?
I thought it was fine. I was shocked when it was like a worldwide phenomenon and they're making an anime and stuff. I was very confused.
We watched like the first episode of the anime with friends, and I thought it was a pretty decent first episode.
I thought that if my assumption was the first manhwa that was going to get like a anime was going to be Seoul Station, whichever one came first. There's two Seoul Station things. So they did Soul Station Druid, I think, and then it was Soul Station Necromancer. And then maybe some others, more spin-offs, but
maybe.
I assume they're by the same person.
Well, you said they were written very similarly.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, that's the other one I forgot about. Oh, sorry. The other concepts you can choose from are regressor, which is someone who rewind New Game Plus is their life.
I've seen that.
And then they're super hot all of a sudden in like high school or something. They're
yeah.
They're killing it. And then returner, they like disappeared to a fantasy land, but then they came back. And sometimes that gets combined with the portal thing and the ranks. It's like, I just returned from Fantasyland where everything was level 10 gajillion. And then they're like, oh my god, we can't even rank him. He's so powerful.
Yes, of course.
Like a Dragon Ball Z where the power rating thing explodes because he's so powerful.
You ever read any romance manhwa?
Yeah, there's a couple. I do not remember what they were called, but it was Full Sentence.
It's one of those, huh?
Yeah.
Extremely long titles. I remember we watched that one. There was a like Korean net animation that we enjoyed for a while.
Oh yeah,
Dannphan. It wasn't actually called that. I forget what it was called.
There was a character named Gun-ha who was like getting in the way of like the romance or whatever.
Maybe I can look up what this was called. Korean anime YouTube series.
Yeah.
How did we even find this? A Day Before Us, or is it Before I Reach You? Which one is the?
Maybe that's the name of the episode.
Yeah. Okay, so it is called A Day Before Us.
Yeah, that's it. And it was college students, which is always interesting.
It's funny. This is the first one that comes up.
I liked Golden Time because that one was in college. To be honest, I think a college makes more sense for a romance because like you have a lot more elements that work because they always make high school, not always, but sometimes they make high school into just college because they're like, oh, it's a boarding high school, and it's like
it's a fancy private high school.
This feels like you're just making it college, but you're like into the teen market, like. But it's like, oh, everyone has a different dorm, and you get different dorms based on like your academics or whatever, and it's like, kind of sounds like college.
I don't know. Maybe there are some private fancy high schools in Japan like that.
I'm sure they. I know they exist in the United States. It's just like that's such a not. I don't know. It's
not the norm.
Yeah, it's not normal at all.
For sure.
And at those, I feel like most kids would be going home on the weekends unless their parents like hated them. I don't know. So you're like,
But yeah, that was part of the reason why you liked Uzaki, because like it takes place in college time too.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. Well, they don't do anything with it other than
no, not really. It's more so just like hanging out.
And then they do a million flashbacks to high school. So
I don't know if I'd say a million, but nothing really that interesting happens in those flashbacks either.
They're like,
it's just like, oh, look, they used to be like kind of different characters back in the day.
Yeah, when they're like, this is how we got to know each other, flashback, instead of like getting to know each other in college.
Exactly. Yeah.
The realistic depiction of like how sleep deprived people get in college and how you just like don't see someone for like a while. Although they made it like a whole year that they didn't like see each other, which wasn't. It would be like half a semester, and then you'd see them like stressed out and crazy wandering. And you're like, oh, it's just so what happened? It's like, my finals. What time is it?
Yeah. I do appreciate that the creator of Uzaki like actually does push the relationship further, and you know that seems to be becoming the norm now. There's like this new wave of manga creators who are not afraid to actually have the relationship conclude and then keep it going as they're in the relationship, rather than just immediately ending the series as soon as they confess to each other, which is nice to see.
No, it is. I feel like it's so unnecessary to end the story. Although, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a mistake to do romance as the only like thing going on in the plot. But...
Yeah, I mean that's a normal thought. Is like obviously if you're doing like maybe an action series, romance on the side, and those are like good things to balance each other out. Plus, some people really don't know how to introduce any new drama into a straight romance slice of life thing, and so it turns out to be like weird at some point.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just like degenerates, so they just like add a
they add triangle. They add a competitor, even though they're like already in a relationship, and it's like, what are you doing here? You want one of the characters to cheat just because it's like it's more like dramatic that way? I don't like that.
I mean, to be honest, if you just had like a happy story that like you pumped it out every week and it was just like them being happy, people would still read that. Like, they might not like binge it, but like if you just had a book where you're like you just had a book like on an app or something, you're like, it's gonna be happy. Day's been shitty. Let me read a happy chapter of happy nobody cheats romance manga.
The diabetes anime.
Like I don't feel like it's like a failing business model.
No, I don't. Like, I'm glad to see that it's like picking up speed.
Yeah, like I don't think that Rent a Girlfriend was helped by having people hate binge read it on a piracy site and then make it like their life's goal to like ruin the series, like constantly talk about how it sucks.
It's so funny hearing these people who are just hate reading it at this point. And every time a chapter comes out, they're like, I thought it was going to be good, and it wasn't.
I read it with one hand on the mouse and then one hand on page down, and I would just go like, and then click and then so if it was some like other characters besides the main two, I was like, what self-indulgent bullshit is that? Are you insane? You make no progress. You want me to care about what are they doing?
Yes. Giving screen time to the other waifus so that people buy the figurines of them or whatever.
Yeah, and I made sure to go to the sketchiest piracy site where I know the owner is only spending the money on drugs. Like he doesn't even know about anime. He's just like a cokehead who's uploaded this stuff. He's got like gambling advertisements and stuff. Like I made sure no money went to Rent a Girlfriend, but I read it, I guess. Nothing happens.
Well, you stopped reading it at some point.
Yeah.
The two characters do get together.
I don't even give a shit. There was an entire chapter of like sketches of facial expressions. Yeah. And I'm like, what like and
I remember that was like, a little bit controversial. I
was like, okay, and then is she gonna say, yeah, I like you too? She just keeps on like making stupid faces, and then like I leaned away from the computer and showed it to Trisha, and then she was like, yeah, somebody wanted to be an animator. It's like, and then we're back to square one. Like he's paying for, now he's hiring her. He's renting a girlfriend again.
Oh man. But anyway, how did we even get on the subject of
you asked me if I read like romance things.
Yeah, I was saying that I was glad that we were getting more romance manga where they actually do have depictions of relationships. More importantly, normal relationships. I want to see more happy relationships.
But,
none of these like cheating, drama, harem bullshits.
By the way, I really like how like female Japanese artists draw men. How they're just this giant billboard. Like they're so wide, and the size of them is like is completely insane.
That's especially true of shoujos, right?
Sure. Yeah.
It's like a specific genre that draws men in this particular way where they're just like giants and then the girlfriend's like super tiny and cute.
And the guys are all really skinny though.
Yeah.
But they're just wide.
They're wide.
They're like
wide shoulders.
They're like, oh man, isn't there like a supervillain that's like really wide and flat? Or is it just Mr. Fantastic? He like flattens out sometimes.
He can flatten out.
Yeah.
For sure. He's like Mr. Fantastic spread out. It's a funny way of putting it.
And then when they say the height of the people, it's always like crazy. Because like the height will be something that is like it's like totally realistic. It'll be like this guy is like, you know, he's like he has to duck into doorways, like, you know, he's like this massive guy who's like a full chest higher than like every other person on the street. And then they'll be like, yeah, he's 6'3". It's like, what? Are you sure? Like there's that that lovely complex with the like completely unusable dub.
Yeah, the tall girl.
Yeah, she's 5'7", and like they depict her like she towers over everything. She's like, she might as well like just like be Godzilla. She's like she has to like duck into doorways and stuff. She's like this massive monster. Like she's ready to just like
she's gonna topple over cities.
She's like doing pull-ups on lamp posts. She's like so tall.
Oh my god.
And they're like, yeah, she's 5'7". And it's like
suspicious.
They do have a guy in the anime or in the manga and whatever that's taller than her. I don't remember if he was in the anime, because I was like, this seemed like it had a lot of potential, but it was really bad. Like the anime like wasn't well. When the subtitles were fine, but it was not that interesting, and so I kept on having to like switch to. I kept on having to, because I didn't want to have to look at it, but then the dub was like always so incorrect that without knowing anything about the show, you immediately know that that's not what they would have said.
Sometimes you can just tell immediately when a dub is not correctly translating something.
So I would have to have the subtitled version up like all the time, because I would need the real lines. And then like eventually, like a couple episodes in, I was just like, you know what? I'll just suffer and watch the subtitled version. I'll just learn Japanese so I don't have to like actively pay attention to this thing.
Oh yeah, with massive hands as well.
Oh yeah,
billboard guy has massive hands.
The thing is, whenever they want to hold hands, I'm like, oh no, because it just looks like they're gonna break all their fingers, like because their hands are so big.
Oh man.
And then sometimes they just have these like giant hands, like those like dog fetch throwing things, like big scoopers, like just
big scoopers.
Big, you know what? Like the palms are just these big, like, you know.
Perfect for the backhand.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5'9" is technically a kaiju height in Japan. Fair enough. I can't even remember like what height I made Riken and Reaper. I think it was 6'5" though. I don't think it was too like over the top tall, but like just tall enough that it makes sense.
The first time I saw someone and I was like, that's a big dude. I was like, oh shit, that's a big dude. There was like an immediate like, oh wow, he's fucking huge. Was 6'8".
Oh yeah.
I forget what band, but the one of the guitarists or the bassists or something for some metal band is 6'8", and when he came to the edge of the stage, I was like, oh fuck, he's a big dude.
That's that Adam Sandler clip. Oh my
god, that's horrible. Yeah.
That's a good clip.
Yeah. That was the first time. Like that's I feel like that's a reasonable, because if I'm like 5'11", and that's like not like 9 inches taller than me, I guess that's like, it's almost a foot. Like it's like,
Yeah, it's a considerable amount.
Like, if someone's 5 feet tall, you notice that they're short. If someone's like 7 feet tall, you fucking notice your length.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, something fun I guess we could also go over. The creator of My Hero Academia came out with new manga that I saw like some people talking about. It's a one shot, actually. It's not supposed to be a series. After I read it, I kind of felt like, yeah, this makes sense as a one shot. It feels like, it ends open endedly, but at the same time, it feels like it would be difficult to transition first chapter into a second chapter and then like keep it going. This image on the right looks like way edgier than it actually is.
Yeah, she looks so unappealing in the picture on the left.
Oh yeah, she the big thing about her that's like a little bit different from the usual like love interest is that her teeth are supposed to be like kind of crooked, and like that's why she's like insecure about laughing, so she like covers her mouth usually.
Get braces, idiot. What's wrong with her hand?
I don't know, man. She's just holding herself up. She's not actually big in the manga, by the way.
Okay.
The cover is false advertising. And this one is also false advertising. He's not a super cool badass guy who's like riding her on his motorcycle or anything.
Riding her on his motorcycle.
All right. Well, anyway, when it was first announced, it was going to be like some sort of horror manga one shot, and I thought, ooh, that sounds interesting. I read it. It does not really strike me as something I would describe as horror-like. It feels like something that was written by the creator of My Hero Academia. It's like edgier. It's definitely edgier than My Hero Academia, but it still kind of feels like in that same realm of like wholesomeness, I guess I might describe it as. Kind of a typical story. It's like she's going to be sacrificed to some sort of demon spirit thing, like kind of like or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that type of story, and then he saves her. He has like the ability to actually see the spirits, whereas other people can't really see them, I guess. And he's able to save her from being sacrificed and actually defeat the spirits, and then I guess they ride off into the sunset and they're like happy and whatever. So he gets his girl. Typical guy saving his princess. And that's fine. I like it. Not anything that I would say would be mind-blowing. As far as horror feeling, the demon monster things are certainly creepy looking. It's not like a style that I would have expected to come from the My Hero Academia creator, but it's not. I don't think anyone needs to worry about it being actually scary. If anyone was turned off by like the horror tag, I would say don't worry about it. It's totally fine.
Sometimes horror is just like werewolves and vampires are in it.
Sure.
Like sometimes horror is like
it's just there is a spooky threat.
It's a way of saying it's like modern fantasy, and by modern I mean like modern day fantasy, and then there's like vampires and werewolves and like that sort of thing.
Right.
Like Underworld, it is technically a horror movie, but
I think it more so has to do with the vibes, because like at one point people might have considered like Godzilla to be a horror movie, but like if you look at something like Kaiju number 8, that's not horror.
The earlier Godzilla movies, it is kind of scary.
Yeah, right.
He comes over a mountain.
Well, that is what I'm saying. It's like a vibe. It's
like Godzilla comes over a mountain and they're like, oh, he's coming this way, and like he's looking at the island and he's going to it, and like he's the suit is like making eye contact with the camera, like coming towards the island, and you're like, oh, that's not good. I don't like that at all. It's like, get on a boat. It's like, oh, there's not enough room on the ferry, and it's like, panic. So it is like,
yeah, right. I feel like that's a big part of something being classified as a horror, is like the characters need to be like really scared of the thing in question.
Hey, Remus came here to say hi.
Hey, oh, neat icon.
Tiger Man.
I thought she was big. I know, right? I saw the cover, and I thought like she was actually supposed to just be a giant girl. But then I also saw this, and this gives off such a different vibe than this.
Yeah, both of those. That one I like
this one.
Yeah, honestly. I would read that, but
maybe this one is a little bit more on par with what is actually happening, because she's being sacrificed into the ocean. I don't know why he decided to make her big.
I also don't like her legs.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. I just don't like it.
It's fine. But yeah, I do like the shot of them on the motorcycle. Or actually, it's not really a motorcycle, is it? It's a, what do they call those things? Like
moped?
Motorbike? Oh, moped. Yeah, you're right. I think it is a moped.
152 gallons, or not, 152 miles to the gallon. If it was 152 gallons to the mile, it had better be like really big, like, like Walker or something. Big
Vespa, maybe. A bit more folk horror inspired, but more action oriented. There's a little bit of action, perhaps. I don't think it's not really the main focus of the one shot, but you get a little taste of it. But yeah, I think more so maybe he did it to like just try something out, to see like if he could do more edgier stories, or if he could draw scary monsters and
probably one of those things
move away from My Hero Academia type of stuff.
Yeah, it's probably one of those things that was like kind of sitting on the back burner, and like an idea he had on the shelf, and he just took a while to get to it because he had like a successful thing he was obligated to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to try to do other stories as well. I don't think that mangaka need to just be only limited to one successful series for the rest of their life, especially if that makes them like really spiteful towards that series in the long run.
Yeah, or they'll like introduce new characters, and it's like, these seem like they would have gone in their own story.
Yeah, these seem like they don't belong here.
Like you're seeing a crossover with an idea that he hasn't gotten around to doing.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to see him trying new stuff. And as far as like moving away from My Hero Academia, it wasn't terrible. I don't want to raise anybody's like expectations for people who do want to read it, but it was fine. Dude seems to like large women. Well, she's not large in the series. That's just on that one particular cover. She's large. I guess he was trying to capture some sort of vibe, but I don't know. It did confuse me because I thought she was actually going to be a big girl.
I assumed it was going to be like
giantess.
Yeah, like she keeps on laughing and getting bigger and smashing the city.
That's what I thought, because it's also called like Quit Laughing. It's like, oh, why should she quit laughing? Oh no, But yeah. Anyway, I guess that's all I got for you for now, guys. If you do want to check out the pre-launch page for the comic contest, going to be launching on the 31st. If links down in the description, you can come click notify me on launch and you'll get notified and you'll be able to back it right away and secure your copy. I don't think it'll be very long to fulfill this at all. In fact, I think we can start the fulfillment before the Kickstarter even concludes, because everything is basically done. It's really just a matter of ordering the copies and packing things up and getting it to you. So this will be like one of the quickest campaigns that I can do. And yeah, there's a lot of really cool creators participating in the contest. I think it'll be super cool.
Yeah. So to summarize, let's see if I understand the contest correctly.
Oh, you want to?
There's a bunch of different people who make comics, and then they're all submitting a comic to this anthology of comics.
Yes.
And then people are going to buy that, and then having bought it, they have the right to vote on who is the best in the anthology, and then whoever gets the most votes wins the prize.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. So you buy the anthology, and because you bought it, you are now a judge, and you get to pick like which one was the best story and which one deserves to win the $500 prize.
Those are going to be some pretty strong stories, I bet, because I'm just thinking like how I like if I was in that position, I'd be like sharpening my like every. I mean, I kind of obsess like that anyway, but I bet I can imagine a lot of people like really wanting every little thing to be like clean.
Yeah, well, some people are also just excited to be part of an anthology, just to like, oh, I have my name on a thing that was like published, and there's a print version of it out there. And you know, I also let everybody, of course, shout out their social media links at the end of each story, so that you can follow each of these creators, especially if you want to see more from them, which is its own valuable thing.
Yeah. In the writing sphere, anthologies are like mythical. They don't exist. So like some advice that people will sometimes give you as a writer is like, oh, you should write short stories and submit them to like magazines. And I find this like website that has all the contests ever like compiled, and they're all like horrible. It's like for $10, we'll pay you $10 if you get selected, and then we will have the exclusive or non-exclusive rights to publish your story in perpetuity. It's like for $10. It's like,
damn.
And then sometimes, like if you submit it to us, you surrender all rights to it. It's like,
yeah, you know, some contests are like that too, which is like kind of crazy.
And like their explanation is like, well, sometimes we get confused which submissions are from what, so we'll just use it. We'll just use whatever we find in this, and we just fling stories around.
Fling it into a bin, and then we just use it for whatever we wanted.
Then another thing people will tell you is like, try to get into anthologies, and then like, yeah, and so I'm like, all right, let's search for like anthologies of short stories. I found a total of like 4. It was like, and it was all by like the people who organized the anthology like had their name on it too. They hadn't published any, they'd done a single one, and it had like 5 stories in it or something. So it's like, if you can imagine getting your weekly D&D game together, it's like that, but with people who like get randomly depressed and like disappear for several months. And so that's why anthologies are all mythical. I have agreed to be in like countless anthologies, and people have asked, and then they never contact me again, because like, I don't know, whatever happens to them, they get sucked into the ocean, fall down a set of stairs, infinite, get swallowed by a SCP creature.
Yeah. Get your money ready for when it launches, folks. Hell yeah. I think it'll be fun for sure. But I guess that's all I have for now. Post the link in chat while I have it up, I guess. But yeah, and I guess
the one that makes me the most curious from seeing all the little like the slices, is the that one, the blonde one.
Bamba. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
No, he has some like pretty good manga art for sure. I actually I discovered him, funny enough, on Subscribestar, because I was looking to see like what other artists are doing a Subscribestar, and then I found his, and I was like, oh, this actually looks really good. So I checked out the story, and I thought, man, this would be like kind of interesting to add to like the contest I was cooking at the time. I messaged him. He got back to me like way later, because like how X messages are nowadays, where it doesn't notify you when someone's actually trying to contact you. But he was super interested and super open to it, and that was pretty cool. So, yeah, our first time meeting, but had a good conversation, and I think he'll do pretty well on the contest because he does have a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, I think his name is a reference to Giant Nuke, the Tsar Bomba.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like the biggest nuke ever made.
Is that why, like, his Twitter user is Bam Bam? Is that just the bomb going off?
I don't know.
The deepest lore. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask some of the contestants to like come on for like Friday streams so they can talk more about their submissions, and we can get into their head a little bit. Well, maybe I'll wait until the actual campaign is live for that. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool. All right, guys. We're going to end the Friday stream here for now, but we will be around, maybe doing more streams.
Oh, so,
yeah. Look forward to more videos and more epic content, and look forward to that comic contest, of course.
I think the early access for Dverigold, I think it's like streamable because it's like you can get in it now. Like it's in early access, like you can buy it.
Oh, okay.
And then play the game. So
yeah, that might be interesting. Do another Dverigold stream.
Yeah, I kind of want to try an entirely like a cleric team. See how that goes.
Okay, cool. And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
See you.